How did he give me HIV part 5? All right, so yeah, y'all ready? Listen, hold on. Let's buckle up for this one. Y'all ready? Let's buckle up. Cause you about to go on a ride, okay? So, here it is now. I believe it's 2 days before the wedding. Cause again, we had everything already planned out. I had someone already in Jacksonville planning, getting everything together. Any of the little details I was able to get done once I got there. So here it is, 2 days before the wedding. We get to his mom's house. We get to Rhonda's house, and we pull in the driveway. Kids get out, because again, we have all the kids with us, plus his daughter had a son at the time, so he's with us too. The whole, me, him, and all the kids. I was a whole 24-year-old grandma. Listen. So we get to her house, and she pulls me into her garage. So she's got like a little two-car garage. She pulls me out there, and she says, I need to ask you a question. So I'm not thinking anything of it, honestly, because remember, like I said, she was my friend. This is someone who I consider this is someone I knew already. So I'm like, oh yeah, we could go out here. What's up? What's going on? That's how I'm reacting, like, in friendly. Because again, I'm not expecting shit to get ready to hit the fan. So she says, has Gregory ever mentioned anything to you about HIV? And I look at her like, I say, why would he mention anything to me about HIV? Like, that was my question to her. Why would he mention HIV to me? And she said, just ask him. Go ask him about HIV. So, okay, yeah. My red flag is all the way up in, listen. Woo, woo, red flag on the mother play, okay? So, I go in the house. Now, people who know me, they know I am not the type of person to do no he say, she say. I'm going to confront. Like, listen, we going to get all the business clear, okay? So, I went into the house. I told her, I said, you stay right here. Right here. Don't go nowhere. I went into the house, and I pulled him out there with his mom, okay? The three of us are right here, face to face. 1, 2, 3, okay? I said to him, your mom told me to ask you about HIV. What is she talking about? He looks at his mom. He looks at me. And with no hesitation, he says, I don't know why she's telling you to ask me about HIV. Why are you telling her to ask me about HIV? What are you talking about? That's what he said, okay? His mother, Rhonda, the family friend, the woman who I knew before I knew his ass, ain't open her mouth and say nothing. She said nothing, okay? She said nothing. She didn't call him a liar. She didn't say, oh, you know what I'm talking about. She didn't say anything. She just stood there with her lips closed, looking crazy as hell, okay? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, does this woman just not want us to get married at this point? Like, what happened? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, well, why would, she... At this point, we walked away from each other, and I'm saying to him, why would she ask that question? He was like, I don't know what's going on with her. Like, that's his whole thing. Now, full context, his mom has a history of being a liar. Not because someone told me she was a liar, because I've seen it with my own eyes. There was a time when she was comfortable enough to bring me around her and her sister when they would partake in smoking marijuana. Now, y'all know I don't smoke. I'm not no smoker. So I was not partaking in no marijuana. But she felt comfortable enough to bring me around. And she would say, well, don't say anything to your cousin, because he don't know. And all, like, he don't know. and this is just something between us girls, that type of thing, you know. So I'm already sitting here looking at her weird, because I'm like, dang, I get, now that I'm finna marry her son, I'm seeing a whole new person. Who is this lady? This is not the person that I knew. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. So I felt like she, you know, and there's other things that I'm not going to talk about, but there were reasons to believe that she could have been just saying something just because. Okay. And also for the simple fact that here you are, I'm presenting you with a person in front of you who you're saying I need to ask a question to. They said something that basically called you a liar to your face, and you did not rebuttal and come back and say anything. So people always say, oh, well, that was your sign right there. Listen, the sign was right there blinking and clear, and the red flag was up, and I was on it. Okay? I was on it. But then I was also presented with a situation where she did not rebuttal or call him a liar. She basically made it look like, dang, it ain't work. Like her lie didn't work. He made her look like a liar, or like she was someone who was trying to stir up problems or issues, or make it like, you know, she didn't want us to get married. That's how it came off. And if you don't see it that way, I don't know what to do or tell you. I can't make you see it. Okay. So, you know, we get through that moment. Again, she never mentions it again. It's never brought up ever again. The words HIV were never brought up ever again in any situation or moment. Okay. Until further on. So we get married, you know, here's wedding day. Now, I will tell you something. So I told y'all his best man, this was someone who was his best friend, okay? So I thought. Now, a couple years ago, I can't really tell you how many years ago, I would literally have to go and look and research. But there was some years ago, I got a message from that said best man, and he was like, listen, I know this and this happened, and I just hate that it happened, but I need you to know something. I did a podcast episode, because he did a lot of podcasting and NPR radio type things, and so he was like, I did this podcast episode, but I want you to listen to it before I release it, because it is about you. Okay? He said it is about you. And so in that moment, I'm like, okay. I listened to it, and when I tell you I listened to it and I heard some things that I never in my wildest imagination could I have ever imagined that I was going to be hearing. And I believe that I have that podcast episode uploaded to my page already. It's called, I forgot what it's called. I have to go back and look and see what it's called, but it's already uploaded on here for people to listen to, because I uploaded it like sometime last year. But one thing that I did not know as we were getting married on that day, as I was walking down the aisle, I didn't hear, but other people heard it, and the best man and the pastor obviously heard it, because it happened right by them. So the way the best man described it in the podcast, he says that, you know, they're standing up there, they're waiting for the bride to walk down the aisle, and then this woman, before the bride gets ready to come down the aisle, someone comes into the church. Like maybe they could have been running a little late trying to hurry up, and they, you know, rush into their seat. And he was like, he called him Lewis. He was like, and Lewis yelled out loud, God damn, you know, like, she fine. Oh man, I'm gonna hit that, I'm gonna get that. Like saying stuff like that while he's the groom at the altar waiting on the bride to walk down the aisle. Me, I'm the bride, y'all. I didn't know this until a couple years ago when I'm listening to the podcast, because he's wanting me to hear it. Like, yo, are you serious? For real? So, yeah, I'm going to make sure that y'all are able to hear that podcast, because that's going to give you a lot of information from someone else's point of view who actually witnessed and got information through this whole situation where they were lied to, and then the truth unfolded to them. Okay?